episode. Gas Network presents Sports for the Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Bro Flying.
T-Buggy, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What it do? What it do? You know who it is, man. Your boy Young Rome 22. All the loyal listeners out there, followers, y'all are tuned in every week. We appreciate that. We appreciate the love. Shout out to everybody that's tapped into that pre-show. Anybody that's new, man, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. You are tuned in to Gas Presents Sports for the Culture. I am tonight's host, Young Rome 22. Let me let the fellas introduce themselves because we got a lot of topics to get into tonight, man. And I'm gonna start with the top left.
What up, man? Scruff Line, Good Ass Sports, man, aka Scruff HR. You feel me? Department has some, musical chairs on, who was on and who's off. Cats don't know how to read. People got emergencies. We don't know how to shuffle the crew a few times, man. But we're here for you guys, man. And we keep all that saucy HR content. That's all in the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to get behind the dysfunctional family, tap in with the pre-show.
Yes, sir. Definitely tap into that pre-show. Next up, man, I'm gonna go bottom right. And my man is on mute. So once he gets that part sorted out, there we go.
See, HR is just trying to block me. They're trying to hate my shine. I'm feeling like Kanye West out here. Why are you trying to hate on me? It's okay. Can't put me in no dark hole. That's what she said.
That was IT. That's a different department.
Search and development.
And last but never least, my man on the bottom left.
T-Buggy, man. Y'all know what it is. Hey, wash your hands, wash your ass. Yeah, man, we got mixed up a little bit today, but, you know what I'm saying, we here a little later, but, a little greater. So, hey, let's get this thing started.
Yeah, definitely. Let's jump into it, man, because we got a lot to get into from Deshaun Watson to Juan Soto to the Miami Dolphins, man. But first, I want to start with the legend Bill Russell. He recently passed away. RIP to Bill Russell. I just want to get everybody's thoughts on that real quick. I'm gonna go to each one of you, let you say your piece on Bill Russell one time, and I'm gonna start with you, G.
Hey, man, legendary guy, man. The fact that he played in that era and won 11 chips for Boston and still had hate from his community, fellow Bostonians. And the fact that he still loved the city even thus far is admirable. You got to say RP to a legendary guy. They didn't score that much, but defensively was a phenomenal player, a phenom, and RP to a legend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, T, your thoughts?
Yes, sir, man. Definitely rest in peace, Bill Russell, a legend. He doesn't get the credit he deserved. We only hear Bill Russell when we talk green talk. We don't really talk about what he did, his impact on the game, his impact on the culture. But he came in around, Jim Crow era, I believe. Like, there was still segregation in the South. He came in and was pretty much a trailblazer, man, at a time when certain establishments wouldn't even serve that Boston team because he was on the team. So, Bill Russell went through a lot to get this game to where it is now. Played, coached, champion, did a lot in college. And, it's unfortunate that his legacy won't be remembered the same way we remember some of the other greats. But when you're talking greats, you should always mention the late, great Bill Russell.
Yeah, definitely. He did a lot for the culture, and like G mentioned, man, he wasn't even really, he got a lot of hate from his home crowd even. Scruff.
Yeah, man. I mean, B just said it right there, man. The greatest winner ever. Talk about sports, but we talk about winning, right? Like, winning matters so much in sports. To some, it's the highest standard of greatness within sports is winning. And it's hard to say it's not. And Bill Russell, we talk about winning. Nobody did it bigger than Bill Russell. He's got more rings and he's got fingers. And that's legendary in itself, bro. That's just something that, like, anyone could aspire to as a winner. Not to mention he was a pioneer in the fact that he was actually active in the civil rights era Like we talk about LeBron being active, but Bill Russell was active too, and like he was really rolling his sleeves up. He was out there marching with Jesse Jackson, Martin Luther King, and them boys. You know what I'm saying? So like, talk about a legend. I forget how old he was, like 88, I think. He was just at a game last playoffs, many games actually, courtside. And if you go to the Good Ass Sports Twitter, and you look at our handle, our headline, or our wallpaper, we got Bill Russell putting up the middle finger. You know what I'm saying? Like Bill Russell, bro. We embrace Bill Russell here. Actually, I have said some spicy things about Bill Russell in the past. Compared him to one Andre Drummond. I actually just wanted to apologize about that. It took the man passing away for me to realize, how blasphemous that was. So, R.I.P. Bill Russell. I will not disrespect NBA legends, at least not after they pass away. So yeah, R.I.P. Bill Russell, man. Definitely one of the greatest of all time. Possibly the greatest center of all time. We're just gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna get into the logistics.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like y'all made really good points. He's definitely an NBA legend, and he's definitely a legend that does not get brought up nearly enough when we talk GOAT talk. Hopefully, that's something that changes, man. When we start bringing that up, because I do think Bill Russell gets looked over very often. Like he's almost like the forgotten legend, and that's a shame. His name should get mentioned a lot more when we talk about GOATs. But let's get into some more things, man. Let's keep it pushing. And this next one is it's not necessarily the most positive thing, but we did finally get a ruling on Deshaun Watson. Finally, that's the guy we've talked about on this show for well over a year now. I believe all of us originally thought he would get a little bit longer than 6 games, but that is what the independent arbitrator came up with. The NFL could potentially still, maybe amend it, maybe give him a little bit more game, a little bit more. But fellas, what are your thoughts on Deshaun Watson's 6 game suspension? Is it fair? Is it foul? We know a lot of other people have been suspended a lot longer for a lot less. Is that a fair comparison? Let's get into it, man. Jump ball.
This is a spicy take right now because you either could say, yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty. I mean, the court system, the legal system in Texas decided not to charge the guy technically, right? If I'm not mistaken, and dropped all cases. But the fact that there's over 20 women given saying these allegations about the man, it's kind of hard, man. You're stuck in a hard place on a rock. And I really would say, like, 6 games. I thought the NFL would give him 10. 6 games, I guess. I guess if you want to say this, compare to another player that not too long ago got caught in gambling and betting on games, allegedly. I guess which integrity hurts the game more? A guy gambling on the game or a guy allegedly being a sexual abuser to other women?
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely a tough spot for the NFL. It's definitely a tough spot.
But
It's
not even just
hard.
them, us as fans too, because like we're the ones that are gonna pay to see this guy, right? Either we're buying his jerseys or going to see the Browns. Like we gotta
Well,
face
to,
the.
to be fair, he did practice today, and he came out to some cheers from Browns fans for whatever that's worth. T, jump in here.
I mean, yeah, like you said, it's tough because he wasn't criminally charged with anything, but definitely convicted in the court of public opinion. And should that warrant a suspension? Who's to say? But I can only say, for me personally, 6 games is absolutely not enough. Not even looking at what other people have been suspended for or not suspended for, but just these allegations alone, the massage community has to be up in arms over this. You know what I'm saying? If that is the community. I don't know, but if I was a masseuse, I'd be up in arms. Like it just goes to show you that NFL is a bottom line sport. It comes down to money, and Deshaun Watson is a profitable guy, and because he's going to sell tickets, right? And it comes down to talent, and obviously they prioritize the talent and the game of football over his alleged transgressions. I think they should have gave him a year just to send a signal. Guilty or not, just having that many allegations is a terrible look for the league, the Browns, Deshaun Watson personally. So 6 games is nothing. You can get 6 games for accidentally taking the wrong vitamin from GMC. So no, 6 games that's absolutely nothing. In fact, DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for trace amounts. Yeah, the massage community, man, they got to be up on.
Yeah, that's funny. Wow, crazy.
Hey, actually, I got a homeboy that used to work with me, and he became a masseuse, man. I might reach out to him to get his insight on this. I hope he never ran into Deshaun. But
Probably not.
Scruff, jump in here, man. Was 6 games even really enough, or do you think that was fair? I mean, to be fair, we should also throw in that the independent arbitrator, I believe her name is Sue Robinson. She was like a judge or something, if I'm not wrong. Like
That's correct.
she used to like, really go by the book and be very lawful and all those kind of things. So I mean, she's probably looking at it from a different point of view than most sports fans. So with that in mind, Scruff, do you think the 6 games is fair? Or do you think she should have tacked on some more?
Well, I've had the luxury of watching a lot of coverage about Deshaun Watson today. One of which I actually got to watch the lawyer. I think his name's Busby, something along those lines. Of the women, he represented, I guess, maybe all of the women. One thing that he did say is that the NFL only met with I think 10 of them or something like that. They never got to really testify, which is the impression that you would think from like the general public, that these women got a chance to testify. Also, he mentioned that when it came to the actual case and what he was the judgment was made off of, the judge is only going to make judgment off of what was presented, and it was only 4 cases that were presented out of the 24 or 23. So burden of proof there's a little bit of that is the system. That is how the process works. That is how the legal system works to some degree. It's a game, man. And it's a little thing back and forth, and then you end up with what you end up with. But by the court, he was granted the 6 games. There is a possibility for appeal, I think. Is it enough? Probably not. But I think what is kind of unwritten here is the fact that he had a whole season in limbo that was totally just like not enforced. He was just, basically more or less, he was not suspended, but he was pretty much taken out of the league for the entire year, which sucks, man. It takes a whole year out of the player's career, and he's a very young player. But at the same time, he did get his full salary. And I think that's the thing that people are going to really not like. He got his full salary this year. He didn't get fined at all during this whole thing. I'm sure he had to pay the settlements for the chicks. But he got his full salary and all that. And he just got a crazy deal too. So I'm sure the women are happy about it. Ultimately, am I surprised by it? Absolutely not. This is exactly what I predicted. He'd be playing football this season. As a matter of fact, we was talking about games going to Baltimore. Baltimore's not too far from here. I'm going to go to the Baltimore game. And now Deshaun Watson is available for the Browns game. And now that's looking like an attractive game. So look at that money going back in the NFL's pockets. All right? So that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's all about the dollar signs, man, and the public opinion to some extent. So he was apprehended and, suspended for something without a criminal charge. I think is something. But it's not nearly as much as anybody wanted.
Yeah, I'm go ahead, T. Go ahead.
No, those and I was just thinking like Brooks said something. If Deshaun Watson was an actor, what I'm saying, he would have been crucified. And not even an actor, right? If he was in any other profession, like what if he was a school teacher, you know what I'm saying? Parents wouldn't be screaming, "Let him teach," The NFL fan base is kind of crazy, So no matter what the NFL does, half the people are going to say, "Good, great, praise the NFL." The other half are going to say, "No, this is wrong, morally wrong." I mean, I watched the league crucify Kaepernick, and now they're playing a guy that obviously has an issue. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even put no stipulations. Like the man don't got to get counseling. He don't got to talk to a therapist. Like
Well, I'll say this: the judge did say that she doesn't believe that Deshaun Watson should go to a masseuse unless appointed by the team. She doesn't think that that man should go to a masseuse on his own without if he does, then she's saying that something funny might happen. So I think it's pretty clear. I think it's a fair judgment to say that Deshaun Watson has some type of issue when it comes to masseuses, because if you get accused by 20 plus of them, then something funny is going on, whatever that may be. That's between apparently him and them, and the man upstairs. But my personal take on it is kind of egregious. I'll be very surprised if the NFL doesn't tack on at least another 2 to 4 games. Because like T mentioned, it's the court of public opinion, really, because it's not any criminal charges, so no one can really sit and it's not going to be dragged out in a trial, so no one's going to get hard facts to really throw a judgment at him. But the public is always going to judge you regardless. That's the world we live in, and based off what we do know, it makes Deshaun look like it puts him in a bad light. So I don't see how the NFL can move forward with just 6 games. I think they add at least another 2 to 4 games, at least.
You know where the fumble is though? You know where the real fumble was though? Like, I don't know about how the lawyers operate. I'm not a lawyer, and you're gonna be able to tell I'm not a lawyer about this, but I'm about to say next. But like, if I was the lawyer of the women, Busby, bruh, I'll give me some footage and leak that shit, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way he would have been able to withstand that. Because it's something different about between when you could see something happen and then when you just hear about it. Even if you hear like 30 women, like when Ray Rice thing. Remember what happened with Ray Rice?
Yep.
Ray Rice, he got, I think he had a situation. They said it was domestic violence. I don't know what the initial situation was. But when that video came out and you see that man knock his wife out, oh, yeah, he's done. Yeah, there's no going back from it. So, like, if you see this man acting, devious in a massage parlor, drop that video, man. You know what I'm saying? That'll really get, because I'm telling you.
Yeah, that would
They wouldn't give him 6 games if they've been watching. If they're watching the footage, nah.
That would be like a smoking gun, because right now it's basically all he said, she said for the most part, right?
Right.
Like none of it can really be proven. So you can't really say too much. But based off what we know, like my man in the comments said, that boy a freak. Like he's something strange is happening, because otherwise you wouldn't have 20 plus people saying something strange is happening. So
I would just like to applaud a woman that didn't comply to the theory of women would do something strange, a little piece of change, because clearly these women have morals. And not even to make a joke out of this shit, like clearly, like we all would assume most women would take his cash, but the fact that these women had morals, or have morals, I'm gonna say had, but have morals to be like, yo, this nigga's bugging the fuck out. And my man to think like, yo, just because you have money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's a sad thing, man. Sometimes you just can't give us money, man. And that's the sad truth.
Man, speak for yourself.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough, because
I mean, I am speaking for myself. I'm saying sometimes you just you shouldn't give everybody money. Look, clearly my man's being a nutty buddy kind of guy. Literally,
what does money have anything to do with the fact that he was trying to solicit sex?
Yes. Well, duh. Solicit, right? Because you're giving them cash, right?
Maybe.
The whole theory about soliciting is because you're giving up some kind of money or something to get pleasure. And these women said no. They said no. They were like, nah, this man's outrageous. Like, what the fuck, my guy?
And he should be dragged. That's good. That's good. I'm talking about hardball. I mean, but yeah, it depends, man. Nobody wants to, when it's on your team, right? You're gonna do what you gotta do to cover your ass, man. That's what it comes down to.
Guy is the quarterback of your team. Do you want him playing?
Deshaun Watson? No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, hell yeah, I want him to play. You kidding me?
No,
this might be controversial to say, but I would take Deshaun Watson on my team. If I was a Browns fan, I would be fine with having Deshaun Watson on my team as long as he served a suspension that I felt was in line with what he did.
No caveats right now. 6
No, I
games.
mean, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, but he still needs to be suspended. I'm not. It's not a yes with no punishment. Like I still think even if it's not as everything that they're accusing isn't true. Deshaun shouldn't have put himself in this situation. Like this is something that's not going to go away. Ben Roethlisberger, like we say, oh, it's football, it's sports. Like they get a pass or whatever, but every time Ben Roethlisberger gets he doesn't get a pass. We've talked about that on this show. Ben Roethlisberger's old cases get brought up. It's not something that really goes away when it's something that's this egregious. I think this is something that kind of sticks with you, even when it's not true. You know what I mean? Like there's people that have had this happen to them, and then it comes out years later that it wasn't what it was, and this kind of thing just rides with you.
So I got a prediction. What's today? August or something, right? August 2nd, 3rd. I don't know. But I'll say what? Week 6 suspension, right? Whatever. All right. So he'll have a stigma for the rest of the season, for sure. Deshaun Watson. But 2020, 2022, I say by his 3rd year on the Browns, no one's even going to be talking about it.
I disagree.
It'll be forgotten.
Well,
the same way Ben Roethlisberger
I
was
have a
forgotten.
prediction, and I'm going to.
It's not forgotten.
You know why?
Only amongst us, because we actually hold people accountable.
No. I'm gonna tell you something, right? And this defies like standard and traditional logic. But there are certain organizations. You know how I feel about a few of these organizations. The Browns are one of those organizations where I feel like if there is a chance to get it wrong or for something bad to happen, it is going to happen. It's absolutely going to happen. So I think 2-3 years from now, they're going to regret signing Deshaun Watson. I could be totally wrong. Maybe Deshaun Watson goes and wins the Super Bowl because I do think he's a great talent. But because of the org and their history and their track record, just like Washington, just like a couple other teams, I think that org is going to find a way to mess this up, or Deshaun Watson is going to find a way. It's not going to be a great ending. It's not going to be a squeaky clean ending. Something catastrophic is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that's how it goes with an org like that.
I like that. I like that prediction. That's a good prediction too. I like that. Hey, I'm
not mad at that.
Though. I think this is the sin. This is the original sin that the Browns need to win. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to. Now you're playing the right game. You're playing the sin game. In the NFL, that's how you win. Ask Bill Belichick.
I think.
What the fuck did he do? Beat
the reason I did
he was deflating footballs. What else you want?
Allegedly with the Jets. Like,
he out here getting other cats caught up in investigations. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we actually that's actually a pretty solid segue, Scruff. My man Bill Belichick, man, he's actually a GOAT. You know, nothing he does is by mistake, even if it's texting the wrong Brian, because what that did was lead to the Dolphins getting investigated. Now that got part of their little investigation there, leading to the Dolphins owner now being suspended and the Dolphins losing a first-round pick, I believe, in next year's draft and a third-round pick in the draft following. All this for tampering. Lot to unpack here, down to the Brian Flores stuff. So, but let's start with the suspension of the owner, because that's something that the NFL typically doesn't do. That's not really something we see too often in pro sports in general. So I believe the owner is suspended until October. Can't go to team meetings. Can't go to league meetings. All that. Is that a real punishment? I think he was fined like $1.5 million. But these are billionaires, so that's like maybe $100 to us. So is this a serious punishment or is this more for show?
I got a strong opinion about this one, bruh. This worse than the Deshaun Watson joint. For real. It is though.
What?
Because hold on. Let's talk about the integrity of the game of anything. Let's talk about the integrity of the sport. Let's talk about the integrity of the game, and let's talk about the integrity of doing business. Okay, all these things matter, in my opinion. Okay, what the owner did was so the tampering is one thing. They clearly got charged with the tampering. That's why they're losing the picks. Is that fair? Yes, absolutely. Now, this is also based from the story. The story was that Brian Flores was on the boat. They were on the boat. The owner brought Deshaun Watson there, and he said, "Oh, I can't be here." So that's the violation. This is tampering. This is an undeniable fact. Okay. But also, what happened was he offered Brian Flores $100K for every loss that they had that year because they were trying to tank. That said, is 100% a fact. Brian Flores, I don't know. I guess it's his word against the owners, right? Whose side you gonna take? Of course, you're gonna take the fucking billionaire side, who's the owner of the team. So, bruh. And they said basically that they couldn't. Basically, he was facing potentially losing his team altogether, being basically banned from the sport because paying your coach $100K for every loss is literally the biggest compromisation of the integrity of the game, bro. It's literally shitting on the whole definition of what sports are, which is to actually win. We just talking about Bill Russell a minute ago. So like that's craziness. And they said they couldn't prove it because they said that, or so they said he said that he said it in that he wasn't serious about it. The owner wasn't serious about paying him $100K. Yeah, he wasn't serious about it because Brian Flores said no. So he was, you know what I mean? That's how it goes. When you tell a joke and it wasn't funny, and then you guys say, nah, I was just joking. It wasn't, you know what I mean? He really was trying to pay that man $100K. So in my opinion, the Dolphins owner should have been kicked out of the league. But, this first rounder thing, whatever, little suspension till October. So what? Dolphins, October? What is that, 5 weeks? You know what I'm saying? The season don't even start till the real season don't really start till November. Mid-season October. So what? You missed a couple games. We watching it from the fucking comfort of your house. He probably lives in the fortress. So yeah, this is terrible. Bill Belichick's the ultimate genius, bro. Because he set this whole thing up, bro. He really set this whole thing up. He texted Brian Flores and said, "Congratulations on the job, man. I'm hearing the Giants. I'm hearing you're the guy." He's like, "Wait, I interview on Tuesday." He's like, "What? No, I heard you're the guy." He's like, "Oh wait, wrong Brian." What? He said, "Wait, what?" Brian Flores ain't slick. He blew that whole shit up. Bill Belichick's a genius, man. Some cats playing checkers and some people playing chess, and Bill playing chess, man.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% facts. I mean that was a hell of a statement though, Scruff. So I'm gonna let T get into this one too, man.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad. Like trying to pay your coach to lose. The integrity of the game. Like what a joke.
What?
The integrity game? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Like we know that these teams win games and lose games on purpose, right? They absolutely win games on purpose, but we also know they lose on purpose. We also know they don't try their hardest. We also know that some teams down the backstretch of the playoffs are randomly playing guys that shouldn't see snaps.
Yeah, but that's different than giving a man a check.
No. I mean, it's not right. Even whether I say it jokingly, because maybe he did say it jokingly, but you get the point. You get the point. This is not a good team. We are tanking. You know what I'm saying? It was so bad the NBA had to put in a lottery for draft picks. So professional sports this is not no quiet, kept in a dark secret. Like everybody knows this. So I don't think he was ruining
it. Really is strategy, bro. If you think about it, tanking for Tua was a thing.
The worst thing it does is it kind of pulls the curtain back for the casual fan, right? The guy that believes every team is out there trying their best. Every player is out there trying to help their team win. Man, some of these guys just out there to hit contract incentives. Some of these guys hate playing for the organization they're at. They're just out there because they have to be. Like there's a lot of variables to this, but to call that worse than Deshaun Watson is absolutely insanity, bro. Like, what about the integrity of life? Like the integrity of
bro. But we're not. But we talking about the game of football, bro. We're not talking about the game of life. Deshaun Watson will meet his maker, and he will ultimately face the consequences. That's the person that controls the game of life, bro. You feel me? We're talking about football here, bro. The integrity needs to be upheld, bro, by the shield.
Bro, what?
Nah, I mean I hear where Scruff's coming from though. I hear where Scruff's coming from.
You don't hear him.
Football and now y'all just cool with unethical activity? It's craziness.
You try to interview for a position with the league.
Nah, I'm just talking about ethics, bro.
No,
Yeah, bro.
I hear where you're coming from, but go ahead, G, jump in here.
No, you don't hear where he's coming from. My man just clearly said, right, in layman's term, the fact that someone tried to cheat a game and a man trying to sexually assault women is the same. One is
No. That's not what I said.
sexually assault is a lot worse than the integrity of the game. That's what you clearly just said. So what you said?
I said the appropriation of the penalty was worse. That's really what I meant. I didn't say that this is a more heinous action. It's not. It's not. But the way that this is being handled, Deshaun Watson actually got punished. You know what I'm saying? My man didn't get punished, losing the first round or whatever. There was 2 crimes that happened here. It was the tampering, and then there was the bribery for the losing, bro. It was the violation. That was the biggest violation, in my opinion. And in my opinion, it's just way worse for the sport.
I think losing a first rounder is fair for it, because if you're trying to lose on purpose and we're taking away what you're trying to lose the game, I think that's a fair thing. Should they probably have done more, just like Deshaun Watson? Scruff Goodell. Should they have done more, just like they with Deshaun Watson? I think so. I think it was a light punishment. The suspension till October means absolutely nothing. To me, what does suspending the owner do? Dan Snyder's been suspended or not supposed to be part of operations for like over a year now, and his wife's in charge. So what's the difference, right? Like, you can't suspend the owner. That's a joke. Finding them $1 million, also a joke. Hit the team where the team hurts. He owns the team. Take away more draft picks. The 3rd round pick in 2024, nobody's even talking about that, because that's also a 3rd round pick. Take away another first.
You know what they should do?
Be real about it.
You know what they should do, though? Seriously, this is what I would do if I was the commissioner, Scruff Goodell. This is what I would do. I would have voted the owner out, forced him to sell the team, forced the selling of the team, because we can't have teams out here tanking, bribing.
Whoa! This is coming from a Philly fan. This is coming from a. Bro, I know you're not talking about the guy that is a Sixers fan that loved the process.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it.
What?
And then what happened? What happened? Nah. Listen for a second. What happened to the GM?
Who lost the job? The GM, not the
GM.
What?
Yeah, the GM lost the job. Yeah.
Okay. You don't think the owner? And you don't think the owner okayed it?
Of course, that's what I'm talking about, bro. The owner gave the GM the command, and you fired the GM, but the owner still got the balls to hold it.
So you're saying the NBA?
So the GM just decided on his own he was going to tank, right? The owner didn't tell him to do it.
So you're saying that?
But you're going to fire the GM, but not do anything to the owner.
Let me get my statement out. So you're saying the owner of the 76ers should be kicked out by the league because he let the process happen?
Bro, the 76ers are one of the worst run organizations in the sports, bro. Yeah. The owner is shit.
I agree with Scruff in the sense that leagues need to. The NFL should have, I think, done a harsher suspension, but took away more picks to really signify that, okay, we, like T said, we get the tanking's a thing, but if you get caught tanking and tampering the way that the Dolphins owner just did, and it's a thing in the news, we got to protect the shield. We got to uplift the shield. So you're going to get hit with heavy fines and heavy suspensions.
Nope.
First of all, the shield didn't take a hit. Second of all, who the fuck does it about Miami? Unless this was like the Patriots team doing the cheating, doing all this shit, we don't care more, because these are winning teams as of late. We're talking about the Miami Dolphins. Like the same way we didn't care so much about Philly tanking, and we knew they were tanking because these
let me put it to you like this.
These guys suck.
Put it to you like this.
Nobody cares because they suck and they can't win. Even after tanking, they can't win.
Look, Scruff has a point about the integrity of the game, but let me put it to you in a way that you might actually care about. Because we all gamble a little bit, right? We all put a little bit of money on these games, right? So how do you feel when a Calvin Ridley is on your fantasy team and he runs backwards instead of scoring a touchdown? How do you feel if you put money on a game that the Dolphins purposely lost and, you had money on them winning because it was against the Lions or something? I mean?
It's your jobs then.
It's bigger than just, what I'm saying? Like, they're just taking it. Like, I get what T was saying in the sense of, okay, you know, we're gonna throw Rome out there and get some snaps at cornerback, even though he don't even play football. You know, like certain guys, it's like, why is this guy all of a sudden my left guard? You know, what I mean,
But
he was on the practice squad.
you said it
That is
yourself.
that is like
You
a
said
subtle way
you
to do it.
gamble. You gamble. The odds are never in your favor. It's a gamble, right? If this was a sure thing, we wouldn't be calling this shit a gamble. That's why we gamble, because
Man,
it's never a sure
no, no, no,
thing.
no.
But okay,
You're no, no, no. Your
if
example
somebody
was
cheats you in the gamble, bruh, it's they're getting hands, and depending on how much money it is, they might get more than hands, bruh. Like,
My
come
boy,
on,
unless
G.
it's a casino game in the back of somebody's bodega, I don't give a fuck. This is not something
bro.
going on in the back of the
See,
hood in
see, you
someone's
went, you
fucking
went, you
alley.
you went the
Dice
wrong
game.
way. You went the wrong way with your example, because now you just took it to more unethical activity and
No,
shit. And now
because
we
if
playing
there's
it.
a losing
Now we
team
in the
that
back.
doesn't
Now we in the
prosper,
back
we
spot of
don't
the bodega
care.
placing bets like we don't place them on fucking FanDuel now, bro. Like it's not 2022, bro.
But my thing is, if this was a losing organization that out of nowhere took an advantage and won, we would care more. But this is a losing organization and losing still. Just like how we didn't care about the 76ers doing it because they still lost. Look at after the process with the 76ers. MB can't win the MVP, and they damn sure can't go to no conference finals. Nobody cares. Unless these guys are going to the finals or going to the Super Bowl, we will give a fuck. But no one cares because these guys aren't winning. Even when they're cheating, either when they're trying to win, these guys just suck.
And
Point
that's the
blank,
problem.
period.
That's the
That's
problem.
why no
That's the
one
problem.
cares. And if the Patriots were doing it, we will fucking want Belichick to lose his job. But the fact that they aren't doing it, or they are doing it, but they're not getting caught, so no one cares. Remember, that's why the Patriots got fucked over at Spygate, because they were winning and they kept on winning. That's why we cared a little bit more. But no
All right,
one
G.
cares if Miami's cheating
Before we
because they
move on, let
suck.
me throw you this question, G. If you were the commissioner, what would you have done to the Dolphins owner?
Why are we
I would have
asking
done the
him? I
same
was
thing.
trying to tell y'all what I
I,
was
I-
trying to do.
we we would give them. I do the same thing what they did already. It's nothing hard. Like, yo, it's a pitiful team trying to cheat, and they just suck at it. Like, you gonna really get mad at someone that's sucking at cheating? It's gonna look at them and be pathetic. You got
Bro,
caught. You
ask me what
pathetic.
I'm gonna do. Ask me what I would do.
Don't ask
Or
him what he's gonna do. He
All
just
right.
said Deshaun Watson asked. It was just like not as egregious as this shit. What the fuck?
This is what I would do if I was the commissioner. I would force the owner to sell his team, and then I would make him sell it to a minority owner, like maybe P Diddy and Rick Ross or something like that. We make Miami
Oh,
popping.
come
You feel me?
on,
And then
okay.
I'm hiring Brian Flores as the head
no.
coach. Then I'm hiring
Okay.
Brian
Again,
Flores as the
again.
head coach.
He said, "I'm
Fuck,
rehiring Brian Flores." Oh my
bring Brian
gosh!
back, man. Other Brian, the
Before
black Brian.
before we end the NFL topic, man, I got one more quick hitter I wanted to get to. This is a positive one.
They got that
Debo
bullshit coach
Samuel.
right now too.
Debo Samuel got his bag, and that's good for the league. That's good for Debo, and I'm sure one of the panelists is very happy as well. My man T, yeah, yeah, the memes galore with Debo. So T, I'm gonna start with you on this one, man. Big 49ers fan. I know you pay a lot of attention to the team. Obviously, a lot went on this summer. Debo was asking for a trade. John Lynch said there's absolutely no way we trade him. They got the deal done. Tell us how we got here, man. Talk a little bit about it.
I mean, as far as Deebo, I think, from an agent perspective, he probably felt like Deebo had the best season out of that draft class. AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin. So really, this was a waiting game, right? Who wanted to wait and really see who get paid the most? And I think Deebo, out of all the guys, was willing to battle the team for it, because no matter how you went or how you went about it, because you can arguably say why each of those guys is better than the other. Whoever went last was going to get paid the most, right? And whoever went first was going to set the market. So you were really counting on the first guy, and this thing wasn't going to end until Deebo signed, because I felt like Deebo had the better season. He had the rushing, he had a great season. So that's how we got here. Really, it was just guy trying to get paid, guy trying to solidify his finances for his family and that sort of thing. Wasn't nothing special to it. I never bought into the rumors. I will say I am not a fan of paying all four of those guys a ridiculous amount of money. But you got to do what the market dictates sometimes. So they all got paid. Deebo came back to camp promptly. You know what I'm saying? He was always at camp, but he resumed practice. He put the pads on first day. So I'm happy. 49ers fans are happy. And, Trey Lance era, baby. Let's go. But, that's the business, baby. It's the business. It's ethical behavior. Scruff don't want no
Trey Lance area. Look, it's what, the second day of August. Preseason is right around the corner. Look, we will get into Trey Lance, man. That almost triggered me, man. Trey Lance. Well, let's stick to Deebo in his bag right now. I just wanted to point out a few things before I let the next man go. Deebo, you mentioned his agent. They did a great job with this deal. We all know Deebo is a wide receiver / running back, and they put a lot of incentives in for his time at running back. So if he gets over 380 yards, that's 650K in the bank. I think there's more incentives for touchdowns, all kinds of stuff. So shout out to Deebo for really solidifying that bag, not just with getting all the money, but also getting those incentives in, because we know he wasn't really feeling getting the rocket running back too much. But G, what are your thoughts on Deebo getting this bag, man?
Man, my thoughts, man? Yo, get paid. Whatever young dog say, yo. Congratulations to the man. I hope you buy your mama another crib. I hope you buy your pappy another crib, your grandma another crib. I hope everybody get a crib. Be out there like Oprah Winfrey, because goddamn, you deserve it. Exactly. Like, congratulations to the man. I hope he just, he lives up to this contract, and hopefully he helps T when they celebrate the Super Bowl, but not against my Giants in the conference finals.
I was there,
Trust me, you don't
buddy.
have to worry about that, bro.
Before I throw it to Scruff, man, I'm gonna rephrase the question a little bit, right? Because T got me thinking, man. Like, we're all fans of these receivers. AJ Brown is now on the Eagles. Terry McLaurin is a proud member of my Commanders. So let's get into it, man. Like G just said it. Who's gonna live up to their contracts? Like, they all got paid this summer. Who was really worth the money? Because all their contracts are pretty similar, give or take a few million here or there. But who's really
Can
going to
I?
live up to their contract? Go ahead.
Deebo Samuels. Deebo. The fact
All
that he
right.
could play the fact that he
So
could play running back and receiver out of all those three guys, he has a better shot. I mean, I'm sure that the 49ers wouldn't just say fuck Jimmy G and just say fuck it, Trevor Lance, the guy in his second year, officially rookie year after being redshirted last year. All right, let's give him the opportunity, and then know that they're gonna have to pay the receiver that much kind of money and not expect him to give him the same production. I don't think you do that in an organization. If that's the case, you just trade off Deebo Samuels. Just let him go. If you don't think he's gonna give you the same production with a officially first time full time quarterback underneath the helm.
all right. So part two to that then, because Debo is a solid choice. Is who do you think isn't going to live up to their contract out of the four? Because we'll throw DK Metcalf in here too.
Oh, we got him on there too.
Deebo Metcalf. If you're gonna throw Deebo Metcalf there at the last second, mine would have been
What?
I'm not Deebo Metcalf, DK. Why the fuck I say Deebo Metcalf? I would have said DK because of the fact that he has no quarterback. Who the fuck is throwing to him?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith or
Drew Lock,
what's my
man, that's the
man's name?
guy.
Drew Lock. Yeah, Drew Lock. All right, so
Jesus
T,
Christ.
so I'm gonna throw it to T. T, who you think is gonna live up to the bag, and who just got overpaid?
You know what I'm saying? But I think Deebo. Deebo only caught 6 touchdowns last season, and 3 almost Trey Lance. So they seem to have some sort of chemistry already. But the guy that's probably not going to live up to the contract, I think it's going to be Terry McLaurin.
Shocker.
You know why, right? Out of all 4 of those guys, I think Terry McLaurin is the only one that I feel like is probably a great number 2. I don't see him as a true number 1 receiver. And maybe Carson Wentz can change that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Terry McLaurin as a perennial, like 900,000, maybe 1,100 yards. But I don't think he's going to be a 15, 16, 1,700 yard guy. I think he's going to be a Santana Moss, a Lavernius Coles, just a dynamic number 2. And that's what we're going to get out of him.
You just took Rome down memory lane.
I'm just being honest, right? That or
He just compared Terry to Lavernius Coles,
He
bruh.
just named two
Bryce,
Washington receivers too.
Oh man, I hope Bryce isn't watching right now, man. You just compared Terry McLaurin to
have
Lavernius
two
Coles.
legit number 2 receivers, though. You know what I'm saying? I like Jahan Dotson. I think you guys are going to like. I think the Eagles have 2 number 1s, but I think you guys have 2 number 2s, and maybe I should trade the guy.
That's what's surprising me is because I would have thought you would have went with AJ Brown because it could be debated who's the best receiver on the Eagles. But Scruff, man, go ahead and jump in here.
All right, so who's definitely going to live up to the bag? I was looking up the contract. I thought maybe there was some differentials between the contract. It's the same contract. They all signed the same. They still signed the same contract. They photocopied and sent it over, fax it over. Yo, Philly, fax me over AJ Brown's deal. Like, what is this? They're like identical contracts minus the incentives. They're the same contracts. So damn, I mean, who's gonna not outlive the contract? I think the easy answer is DK Metcalf, because he's playing with Drew Lock. I have no faith in Drew Lock as an NFL quarterback. I think DK Metcalf is a hell of an athlete though. But I don't know how he's not nearly as good of a football player as AJ Brown. Who's definitely gonna live up to the contract? I say AJ Brown, bro, because shit, he's a real number 1 receiver. He's probably been the most productive receiver out of them all, actually catching the ball and being a receiver. Yes, Deebo has the X factor of being a running back, but I'm gonna pull a T here. But will that be his demise? You feel me? Will that be his demise? Because, bruh, we know what happens to running backs. They get Derrick Henry, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So maybe one of these.
Watch your mouth, man. Watch your fucking goddamn mouth, man.
All this extra exposure is not good for Deebo Samuel and his long-term bag. He got a 3-year contract. Let's see how them tread on the tires is looking on the Deebo truck in 3 years. I like AJ Brown for the long haul, man. I think it was a steal. I can't believe the Titans didn't re-sign him, bro.
I think we'll see much more of Deebo at running back. He did have 1,400 yards as a receiver, right? So if you take away the snaps he played running back, who knows? Maybe he's a 1,700 yard receiver. But I like AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown. I think the Titans made a wise decision though, moved on from the guy, because I wouldn't have paid any of those guys. I would have went the Titans route. All of them could have been traded. I would have traded every single last one of those guys, and Deebo included.
Sheesh.
Damn.
Yeah, T did mention that he would have been fine with if the 49ers let Deebo go.
I don't think
that's absurd, bro. Like, this is like
I don't think
arguably one of the best wide receiver classes of all time, and you saying you wouldn't sign any of them.
Well, no, it's not.
Have a Hall of Famer in that group. Deebo is the closest thing.
You don't know?
I don't know, but I don't believe in sinking a team's cap, and these guys are still relatively unproven commodities. They're trying to secure the bag early, smart, good for those guys. But yeah, I wouldn't have paid them.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, T, but I think the way that these contracts were done was very smart by the teams also, because they're mostly 3-year deals, and we know in the NFL it's not all guaranteed money. So most of that money will be paid, probably by the second year of this contract or the extension. So the teams could definitely get out of it if, say, a DK or an AJ or a Terry aren't really living up to what the contract says. But I think the fact that the deals are so short is what makes them reasonable.
Well, it's gonna break a lot of fans' hearts because the guy that does, he's gonna demand a higher bag.
That was what I was thinking because Washington only
lined up for heartbreak. T. I say Deebo's got a good chance to be the best at this current point. It's hard to say that. It's hard not to say that Deebo's not the best. He's definitely in the conversation.
I mean, coming off last season, I don't think you could say Deebo's not the best. I don't think that's really debatable. I think the other three are toss up. You could really go probably any which way. But it's going to be an exciting season, man. We got 2 of them in the NFC West, 2 of them in the NFC East. So these are some of the most exciting players in football.
So I got to ask T a question. I'm not even the host, but do you have any apprehensiveness about Deebo and the new quarterback?
No. Like I said, touchdowns were thrown by Trey Lance. But I will tell you, I like Ayuk better than I like Deebo coming into this season.
You still standing by that?
I'm standing by that. I like Ayuk. I think Trey Lance is going to throw the ball downfield, and I think Ayuk is a little bit better suited for winning on the outside and getting downfield. But it's going to present opportunities for Kittle and Deebo. But I don't like the line. I don't know. I think Trey Lance is going to take a lot of shots. I think it's going to be run the ball, deep shot, run the ball, crosser. So we'll see. But no, I don't think there will be any difficulty because Deebo is a football player, and good football players find a way to make plays, even if they're just blocking.
Yeah, that's real. Well, it's like you said. If you feel like Ayuk is better than Deebo long term, that's a great place to be at. I'd rather have 2 number 1s than 2 number 2s, like you said earlier. So,
yeah, facts.
Because if you think about it,
again,
right,
it's August 2nd, right? It's August 2nd. Just wait on it. Just wait on it.
Man, my Eagles the best team in the NFC East. That's not on the docket, but let's just let it be
it's
said.
not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It damn sure it's the Giants. I don't even want to hear nothing out your mouth, my guy.
I know it's not the Giants, but you guys are not better than Dallas. Fuck no.
Well,
You guys are
Dallas ain't looking too hot. Dallas ain't looking too hot right now.
They receivers
no
looking
way.
troubled right now.
Bro, but they had the better quarterback, bro. Y'all definitely got the better quarterback.
I guess.
What you mean you guess?
I guess.
All right, bro. We ain't gonna have this discussion. All right, whatever, bro. I'm not in denial.
Bro, Dak Prescott was about as honestly coming out of college. Jalen Hurts is a much better prospect than Dak Prescott. So I'm not writing it off.
My God. So what?
Like so what? So what?
So how many first round busts haven't there been?
He had time to develop and get better.
Hey, Scrub. Coming out of college, Jalen Hurts was a much better prospect than Tom Brady. Like what? Like come on, bro. Like what?
Dak Prescott came into the
Tom Brady. All right. Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts are comparable, bro.
Yeah, but Dak
no.
Wish for a young quarterback. You have a Hall of Fame tight end. You have a top 5 offensive line, and you got a weapon on the outside. But he was allowed to grow. You know what I'm saying? He was allowed to grow into who he is now. I don't think every quarterback is given that. So I think Hurts is going to struggle a little bit.
Man.
I think Hurts is being given everything he needs right now. I think it's being laid out on a silver platter. Like I said in the group chat, I've been keeping an eye on all the NFC East teams. Everything Hurts should have no trouble this year. On paper, he's got everything he needs. Eagles got one of the best O-lines in football, if not the best. 2 number 1s, according to my man T. 2 number 1s. Breaking news: Eagles got 2 number 1 receivers right. on the outside. Miles Sanders, best running back in the NFC East, according to Scruff. So they got the best O-line, best receivers, best running back. Jalen Hurts should be in the Pro Bowl, and the Eagles should be number 1 in the NFC East come December, January, right?
I was thinking about what you said about Zeke Elliott, right? Being underrated and
underappreciated.
Rome, okay.
Underappreciated.
Yeah. Here's my Rome onslaught. We're back being enemies now. The NFL's back. Yo, Zeke Elliott, bro. Yo, he has declined every season he's been in the league, bro. Look it up. Look at the stats. Check the stats. Numbers don't lie. Zeke Elliott he gets just a little bit less effective every carry every year.
Well, that O-line's got less effective too.
Yeah, that's another thing. And when Jerry
that's not even the topic today. All I originally said was that Zeke is underappreciated. He's one of the most hated on players or something. If you go look at all those stats and all that was accumulated, and you compare him to someone else in that span, Scruff, you're the main one that comes on here talking about, running backs don't last. Running backs don't last. Despite the fact that Zeke's stats gone down each year, my man is still a starting running back, still talked about as a top 10 running back in the game. Like he's still a relevant player. Unlike Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's done after 2 years, about to get benched after 2 years. So you tell me who's underappreciated, Zeke or these boys that are 2 years and done?
who's underappreciated, who's overappreciated. Zeke is the only reason he's still lined up for the starting job is because it's Jerry Jones, and he doesn't run team. He doesn't run. He runs things based off of how he feels, and he likes Zeke Elliott. This is what it is. He liked him from the very beginning. He just likes guys.
Let's not pretend, man. You pay a guy, you play a guy. Like,
yeah, that too.
You know, all things being fair, a new staff would come in and commit to Pollard.
If that's the case, then Sam Darnold's starting over Baker Mayfield. Because Sam Darnold said to make like 20-some million this year. Baker's not making close to that, and they got him for pennies on the dollar.
That's a difference. And that team,
that's team philosophy.
Oh,
I agree with that to some extent, though. But
I think I'm getting hit with one of them narrative switches right now.
I mean, nonetheless, bro, like running backs don't last that long. I've said several times on this show that running backs typically have about 4-year shelf life max. How long has Zeke been the starting running back for the Cowboys? About 4 or 5 years now. He's done. He's done. If he doesn't fall off a cliff this season, he's probably be unemployed next. Guarantee that.
Hey, this is a contract year, so I love that you said that. I love that it was quiet. We're gonna clip that. We are gonna clip that for the future.
He's gonna be looking like Todd Gurley next season.
I'll know everything I need to know judging by Zeke's weight, man. His weight in camp will let me know everything I need to know. Just like Leonard Fournette came to camp, 260, 290 or something crazy, 260.
Yeah.
Like,
they said Zeke came to camp in great shape because they said he was trying to strengthen his knees. He dealt with injuries last year, but we don't make excuses out here. But they said because of that he came to camp in some of the best shape he's been in. Yeah, no Cabo trips.
If he's lighter, I'm buying Zeke if he's lighter.
You know who else had I was reading today had a little change in their diet was your man Jalen Hurts. Heard that he gave up all sugary drinks, lemonade, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad the trail of I've learned a lot about Twitter over the years. I learned when you like the tweet, everyone that you follow has to see that shit too. So you seen all my Eagles likes.
No, I'm just deep in these trenches right now. I've seen some giant shit too.
He's feeling leaner and stronger and faster. We're all lit for next season, man. Shout out to Jordan Davis too, man. That dude's gonna be a problem.
All right, man. Well, before we wrap this up, man, we got to talk about this damn Soto trade, man. Like, it seems like we never talk about baseball on this show except for when my Nationals are in the mud. When they won the World Series, it wasn't a topic, but here they are, in the news cycle yet again on Sports for the Culture. But if you haven't heard the news, man, Juan Soto and Josh Bell were traded to the San Diego Padres, which is very depressing for people like me that call themselves National fans, because those were literally our two best players. Over the course of the last 3 years, they've traded away Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, Max Scherzer. Now Juan Soto. I mean, that's like a list of just all-star players in baseball. It's actually one of the craziest things in sports. I don't know if a team has dismantled themselves this much since winning a championship ever. That would actually be something to look up. But we talked about it a little bit a couple weeks ago. I think Scruff, you did call the Padres name out. G, I know you're a big baseball guy yourself. T, I know you're not, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one to you first. Get your quick thoughts on my man Soto being traded. I'm sure you got some DC slander, so let me hear
it.
Great choice.
Slander, it's a non-story. From one, you know what I'm saying? Happy trails. The guy was on a losing team. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he goes somewhere where he can. No one likes to lose all year, and hopefully the Nationals I don't know what they got back in the trade. Hopefully they got back a lot of talent. Hopefully they got some draft picks. Hopefully they got some young. What about some guys in the minors? You know what I'm saying? Some guys that are.
Man, them dudes could have sent an army, bro. Nothing would have been worth Soto, bro. Nothing.
The thing is in baseball, man, I've yet to see one player lift a team to a World Series title. So if you got to break the bank for one guy just for the sake of the fans, it's better that you move on from him. I mean, I'm not saying get rid of Scherzer, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and I'm not saying do that.
I agree with that. At this moment in time, trading Soto is a logical move. But it's that's why I kind of mentioned how they got rid of all the other players too, because it's We were just
Yes.
talking about tanking before, and it seems like the Nationals are just dismantling. Maybe they're setting up for. I know the owners are selling. Hopefully, they don't move the team again. I don't know, but it's one of the craziest things I've seen in sports.
Hold on, I got one more question before I get off this baseball. Did one of those trades, were one of those trades a trade that helped acquire Soto?
No, so that's the other thing too. They got
Yes.
Harper in the draft. They got Soto from the damn farm system. Like all their good players, Trey Turner, everybody, bro. Like it was all natural homegrown talent, and they just shipped them all away, bro.
So none of those
Like
drafts they got in trade packages for those guys?
nobody, anything they've gotten back has not panned out. Honestly, Josh Bell was one of the people that they had just, I think, got back in one of them trades, and they shipped him off too. He was having a great year. It's like hustling backwards.
Okay.
Nah, I don't think so though, bro. I actually don't think so. I'll tell you why. So I'm a novice baseball fan. I'm gonna start with that. But I'm a Philly area fan. When Bryce Harper was a free agent, he was a big catch for the Phillies. Like the Phillies don't never get guys like that. So like when Bryce Harper came to the Phillies, they were like, it could have been like LeBron James time. You know what I'm saying? That's how they was acting. But then I watched Bryce Harper come to the Phillies, and he's playing better now. But like he didn't lift the level of the team that much. You know what I mean? The Phillies is still the Phillies. But the Nationals won the World Series like right after that. So like trading Bryce Harper looked pretty good. I'm like, okay, so you trade your best player, and then then a whole team emerges, right? So maybe there's something here. Now they do the same thing again with Soto. And I'm wondering, like, all right, they're gonna be in the World Series again in 3 years. Maybe this is what they do.
So no, this is the problem though, because that would make sense. But the reason you can trade a Bryce Harper and get away with it is because simultaneously you already had Trey Turner, Juan Soto. It was a point in time they had all of them on the same squad.
So that must mean that it means in my head, who's next up? They must got the next Juan Soto over there back lined up or something.
Yeah, hopefully, bro. Hopefully. I mean, Juan Soto was the one that was next up, and I mean,
he ain't next up. He's up.
He's not next up now.
He's up. He's that guy. He's that guy right now. So now they said, nah, fuck that guy. We got somebody else. They must got another guy lined up, man. Why these Dominican baseball players, they be coming up out of nowhere, bro. They probably do got somebody tucked, bro. He might
maybe
be unknown.
That's a possibility.
Manny Machado or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like we don't know.
G, go ahead and jump in here, man.
I'm gonna just start off by saying I don't really think this trade does too much for anybody like a Yankees fan right now. If you're a Mets fan, you kind of hate this shit right now because you might have to go against Juan Soto during the playoffs.
Yep.
Especially, and then the fact that the Padres are in 5th place right now, right? And with Juan Soto, they could end up going up 2 places up, end up being in the 3rd place and get out the wild card. But shit, if you're the Padres right now, you gotta be stacked because it's a give or take. Because also proving here too for Juan Soto, because now he has to make sure that he elevates his game this postseason and the next one. Because if you're the Padres, right, and if you got these next 3 postseasons, this one and the next 2, for you to plan out with Juan Soto, because I'm damn sure you're not gonna pay Juan Soto a crazy contract if you guys don't win the World Series in the next 3 years. Because that's what you really got Juan Soto. You basically want Juan Soto for the next 3 post-offs, for the next post-off, and then you got Manny Machado. I mean, I'm a Yankees fan, and I ain't too worried about these guys still, even with Juan Soto. Because Yankees right now, they got like 3 players that are giving you over 20 home runs. Manny Machado is the only player with 18 home runs for the Padres.
I'll say this about the Yankees.
I'm not worried about these guys.
Spoken like a true Yankees fan.
Well, I'll say this. Aaron Judge right now, bro, that man has been on a crazy streak right now. That man is on fire.
I wouldn't be surprised he ends the season off with 70 home runs. Because Jesus Christ, the man's on fucking fire.
He's going crazy.
I'm not even going to jinx it. But my whole thing right now with Juan Soto, it sucks to see this as a Yankees fan that he left. we didn't buy for him, but that's what it is. I think we're good. I think we got a good chemistry with these guys. But I think if you're the Padres, you're literally just bought one of the best hitters in this game right now for the next 3 postseason. Because if he doesn't pan out, you're definitely not gonna give him that contract that he wants. And then you done gave him 5 prospects to the Nationals. And these are the next 3 years. You got to make it or break it. If you're the Dodgers, you're the Mets. You're a little bit worried, but if you're the Mets, you don't care so much because you got a great you got a great pitching staff. The Grom just came back. I don't think you're worried if you're the Mets. I think if you're the Dodgers, you're a little skeptical, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for these guys in that division. But if you're like a Yankees fan, you don't worry too much because you don't got to worry about these guys in the postseason. We be damned.
Nah, I like your analysis, G, because you got me out of my depression, man. You got me looking at it as an actual fan of the sport, and I kind of agree with you. I don't think it does too much for the Padres. I think it's obviously a big pickup, but they did give up some prospects. But like you said, if Soto doesn't elevate his game and they don't make a strong push, because the National League is still pretty good. Even with him going over there, so it's not like it was some seismic shift. Now, if he would have went to like the Yankees or the Dodgers or some team where it would have ended up being lopsided, I could see something else. But yeah, it's still gonna be competitive.
Elevate his game. He just has to go over there and be himself.
Right.
Yeah, but like he has to contribute. Like,
why would you think he wouldn't contribute? He's literally
he will contribute, but you're talking about playing a hard division. Like he's playing against some of the best pitching staff. Well, he has to. Well, never mind, because he still plays for the National Division. But you got to see. You're gonna have to see. You're gonna have to see the best in the Dodgers, and you're gonna have to see
gotta elevate his game for the simple fact
that have to play better.
You don't turn down a big contract from one team, get traded, and then not have something to prove. Like you don't want to go out and like if it was basketball, you don't want to go out and go 0 for 25, your first 25 shots with your new team. You know what I mean? Like you want to show like, yo, they traded for me for a reason. You know what I mean? You want to show that like, hey, I'm here. We are gonna go somewhere. So maybe not elevate his game too much, but he's got to have a little something to prove.
All right. Okay. So this is what I don't understand. Y'all saying the man need to elevate his game. His team was already losing. Well, why is this such a big loss? Like, shouldn't you look for future prospects and potential players and try to build a team? If, like, I've always been taught,
I agree.
You don't need a superstar to lose, right? I don't got to pay a guy if I'm losing. I don't got to play a guy if I'm losing. So what's the incentive to keep him around? Like, I know you said logically it made sense to move him, but like, why are people hanging?
T, you wanna know why, T? Because in my closet there's a Juan Soto jersey. Around this corner right here, there's a Juan Soto bobblehead. In my son's closet, Juan Soto jersey. We go to Nationals games to see Juan Soto. My man is gonna be in a Bad Bunny video, bruh. He's not even just a superstar. Dude is a megastar. We don't even talk about baseball on our show unless we're talking about who? Juan motherfucking Soto, bro.
No, we're not. That is why. Unless we're talking about the Yankees. Hold on. We don't talk about baseball unless we talk about the Yankees.
We don't talk about the Yankees. We talk about Juan Soto.
Talked about the Yankees on the show.
We talk about Juan Soto.
Besides your intros, we've never took the time to talk about the Yankees. And Rome's correct. Because I'm the producer of the show, I did put Juan Soto in here twice because it is captivating.
Because this guy could be potentially the first billionaire in baseball.
It's extremely depressing.
This is the most talented player I've seen him. I'm gonna tell you what. I used to watch baseball a lot, actually. But I stopped watching baseball because it stopped entertaining me. The players stopped captivating me. I stopped having guys I really liked. Juan Soto is the best player. I grew up when I first started watching baseball. I actually liking baseball. Young Alex Rodriguez on the Seattle Mariners, and they had Ken Griffey Jr., and that was like the squad for me, bro. And then Alex Rodriguez became the best player in baseball.
Exactly what Scruff is saying.
Juan Soto is that. Juan Soto is at that Seattle Mariners point where he's a young bull. He's starting to step into his own, and now he's on his next wave, and Padres is about to be his Yankees, where he's about to just ball the fuck out. You know what I'm saying?
And
That's what
that's
set
why
up.
you should have moved heaven and earth to keep him on your team. Juan Soto is the player that could bring popularity back to baseball. He's that type of player. He's the player that had my son interested in baseball. Who the hell am I gonna tell him to watch now? I tried to get him interested in Josh Bell. They traded his ass too.
All right, here's
You
the thing,
tell
Ridiculous.
though.
you
T
tell him
got
to
a
go
good
watch
point.
the Judge. All rise for the Judge. You tell him to go be a Yankee fan. You tell him to stop being depressed.
You
You
sound
tell
like
him,
my man
yo,
Anthony, man. You sound like my man Anthony.
Yo, T got a good point. I didn't do that to him either. T got a good point though. Yo, when you got a bad team and you really just trying to like you kind of getting it out the mud, that's when the the real dogs are developed. That's where that's how Golden State got nice this second run because they had a
Nah,
couple of them
yeah, I
boys.
mean,
And all of a sudden you got a Jordan Poole, a Juan Toscano Anderson. You got guys. You got depth, bro.
Look,
logically, it makes total sense. When you get to this point, it was really no point in keeping Soto. The writing was on the wall, right? I think once we traded Trey Turner, it was when the memes started going around the Will Smith in the room when everybody done moved out and they put Soto's face on him. Because that was basically, everybody that he won the World Series with, they traded him off. So I'm not surprised he didn't accept the contract. I probably wouldn't have accepted the contract either.
Strasburg is still there.
Yeah, that everybody's least favorite. That man he's there, but he's somewhere in a sling, hurt like always.
Well, you tell your son to watch one of my personal favorites, Nelson Cruz. All right,
Nelson Cruz is all right.
and you tell him to watch.
That's not bad.
You tell him to watch Victor Robles.
Hey, yo, I'm glad you said that. Hey, so the last Nationals
he
game we
came up.
went to, Victor Robles actually threw us the ball. They be warming up. He threw us the ball. He's currently my son's favorite player. Now that Soto's gone, man. So shout out Victor Robles.
Shout out Victor Robles, bro. I used to play MLB, like the video game and shit. And I developed the prospects, and Victor Robles turned into a superstar on one of my franchises. So just watch out for him.
Hey, that's what the Nationals need in real life.
He might be the next Juan Soto for real.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I know Nelson Cruz, to be honest with you. But MLB the show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what they got to bring back the video games, bro, because that's when shit was hot.
That's how you learn players, man, as a kid, right? You can't watch every game. But, when your friends hitting bombs with some random guy or your friends dunking on you with, Bones Highland, you're like, that's how you learn players.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I totally couldn't agree more, bro. Back in the day, that's how I started fucking with baseball. Playing with my older cousin, we going on that joint. We play home run derby, and I'll pick Ken Griffey Jr. and he'd pick Barry Bonds, and we would go at it. You feel me?
Well, speaking of home run derby, my man Juan just won that too, man. That's another reason to keep him, man. Winning the home run derby, megastar.
You can't blame him for trying to leave, though. You can't blame him, man. You guys suck. He knew you guys suck.
Yeah. I think we did the right thing, man. He won. He got a World Series down there. He got a chip down here. Let that man go get paid somewhere else.
I mean, like, yo, at the end of the day in baseball, like, it's not too many teams that's actually winning championships. So the fact that y'all won a championship, y'all should be good. Your fan base should just be good. Be happy that you have one. It doesn't happen at all.
It doesn't.
Feel me?
I'm not gonna lie, man.
Y'all could suck for the next 10.
You know what? You're right, because look how long it took the Cubs to win one. 100, what was it, 50 years or 100 years?
Yeah, man. Damn near a century, bro. Damn near a century. People died thinking that these motherfuckers was going to win one.
Pre-slavery, bro. Type shit. Nah, I wasn't that far, was it?
All right, fellas. Anybody got anything else before we wrap this up?
So fucking Yankees and my fucking man Judge is going to have over 75 home runs. Well, 65 home runs at the end of the year.
That's crazy.
Bro, you already
and then they're going to test them for PEDs. But
hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Watch your fucking goddamn mouth. Every time you assholes put bad juju out here, it tends to happen. I hate you.
Don't care about that. You don't care about any about that. You don't care about that. Yeah, that's it.
You're right. You're kind of right. I really don't give a fuck.
Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about ethics?
Hey,
Mr. Cheating is worse than sexual assault. Yeah.
This was a solid convo about baseball. Maybe one day we'll have a conversation about baseball that doesn't involve my Nationals trading away a megastar player. But NFL is about to be right around the corner, heating up. I'm sure we're going to be all over that. We got fantasy football. We'll be getting in touch with the fans. We got the fan league going. We'll be doing all kinds of things like we do every NFL season. And then right after that, we got the NBA season, man. It's really about to be one of the best times of the year for sports. September, all that. So definitely stay tapped in with Gas. Download that app. We got merch. You see T wearing a good ass sports shirt, Scruff wearing it. We got all kinds of stuff, man. Am I missing anything, fellas? I'm sure it's something else. We got so much.
Hey T, real quick. Instead of just COVID, wash your ass. You know what I mean? You gotta look out for monkeypox now, T. Gotta make something better now. It's getting real
Bruh.
spicy out here. You might lose your pee.
I seen some real crazy pictures of the monkeypox shit, and G had posted something in one of our chats the other day, and he was like, "People ain't care about getting sick, but they damn sure care about looking ugly. So that shit might really, really motivate people." And I seen them Johns, bruh. I would never want to experience that, so I'm not fucking with that shit.
Anything when your pee falling off? Oh my god.
What?
I don't know. Does that shit make you drop your pee? I don't know, man. Strap up. T, it's up to you. You are CDC. T is our CDC expert out here. He told us to clean our ass, wash our hands.
Wash your ass. And,
don't share no drinks with nobody.
The monkeypox are upon us. You know what I'm saying? I've seen the chicken pox, the small pox.
Why y'all talking like it's a sexually transmitted disease?
It is. Technically, it is.
Oh, I forgot about that aspect of it. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's how most people are being infected.
Yeah. So people were kind of saying that it stemmed from,
you know, or
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Be careful. Wash your ass.
I heard it's from anal.
Nah, but it's crazy though, bro. I ain't trying to get canceled today, but bro, it's crazy that this disease stems from that, and I believe they said something along the lines of HIV was stemming from some kind of shit like that too. So craziness.
Cut him off!
The massage community is gonna be up in arms over it.
Yeah, that's wild, man. It's a wild boy. I don't know too much about monkeypox, man. I'm gonna treat it like everything else, though. I don't want it. I don't want to get sick. I don't want no bumps. I don't want no nothing. So if you got that, stay the hell away from me. Don't come in my circle. And I hope you get better. But get better over there. Away from me.
That shit crazy, bro. That shit like some leprosy shit, though. Like, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty looking.
And then, you know, the biggest thing, you know, why you can't tell when a person got it. So it's like.
Yes, you can.
No,
once they get the rash, but the rash isn't first.
That's just not instant. Yeah,
the rash isn't first.
They could have like the first day or two, and you could catch that shit. So you could even catch it off like clothing, bro. Like low key, it's very low risk, but it's possible. Like if there's two surfaces that touch, like they don't even have to touch. You don't have to touch.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
You tried on a shirt at H&M, and the person before you tried it on, and they had monkeypox. You done up, bro.
G made the point when y'all said people don't care about getting sick, but they care about how they look. Y'all gonna get this vaccine.
I would.
Y'all gonna get this one. That's crazy. Y'all gonna get this one.
It's a booty community.
The booty community gonna be upset. Yo. Facts, bro. Facts.
Hold on. We gotta let T end this. We gotta let T end this show now. T, whenever you're ready. We're ready for your new statement of the night. We're ready. I'm ready.
I don't know if I have a new statement, but wash your hands, wash your ass, and don't monkey around. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see you popping up with bumps all over your face because we don't have a good ass vaccine or a good ass cure. You know what I'm saying? So, please.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed, man. All right, so let's go.
Oh my God.
Let's go ahead and end this one like we always do, man. Sports for the culture.